This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning everyone. We are learning Masechta Avos, Parak Aleph, Mishnah Tezayin, Rabbi Gamliel Omer. Rabbi Gamliel says, this Rabbi Gamliel is not Rabbi Gamliel of Yavna. This is Rabbi Gamliel Hazaken, who's the son of Reb Shimon, the son of Hillel. This is not the Rabbi Gamliel of Yavna in the aftermath of the Churban. Rabbi Gamliel said, Aseh lecha rav, make for yourself a rav. V'histalek min hasafek, extricate yourself from doubt. V'al tarbe la'asar amados, do not estimate to take off meiser. So what does this mean, and what do these three statements have to do with each other? Says Rabbeinu Yona, right? So Loimar, sheikabel chaver v'rav l'rav afal pishlei nechgam yoser menu. Basically, take someone who is unequal with you and accept him as your rav, even though he's not wiser than you. Va'afilu imlai hissegal chachmasai, even if he didn't achieve your chachma, even if he did not achieve the summit of chachma, kadei sheyistalik min hasafek, in order to avoid doubt. Why? Shapamim hachacham yistapek b'hoira. Sometimes a chacham has a question in psak, v'eni yadei ma'yomer, he doesn't know what to say. Ma yidaber, ma yitztadak, how he could speak, how he could justify. Im yater, if he could be mater, v'shemahu aser, maybe it's aser. V'yara takal al yadai, and then a stumbling block will happen. Sometimes the chacham is mesupik, and he can't be mater because maybe it's prohibited. V'im yaser misafek, if he asers misafek, ulai mafsin ma'man shel Yisrael, maybe he's causing someone a loss. V'haTorah chasalav, the Torah has pity on Jewish money. Al kein yaseh chaveroi rav, therefore make your friend a rav. V'yishal mimenu sveikaisav, and you'll ask him your doubts. V'yaseh hayra al piv, and you'll follow his instruction. Ima davar hu pasharei love, if he's clear. V'afilu lahatir, even if he's lenient. Av kishe'ena gadol k'maisei b'chachma, even if he's not as great as you in wisdom. Basically like this, the following rule. If you're misupik about something, not only are you allowed to, but you should ask someone. And if they're confident, you could follow them. Now this has to be somebody who's authorized to paskin. There's not, well, I don't know what to do, so let me ask the guy behind me in shul who he's an Amma Aretz Gamor. No, as long as you ask someone who is authorized to paskin, if he's confident, you could rely on it, even if you're mesupik. And don't say, well, I'm mesupik, so I should be machmir. You can be machmir for yourself, but if it's for somebody else, then you can't just say, well, I don't know, so I'm going to be machmir. You're causing the other person a loss of money. So it seems like, according to Rabbeinu Yona, the Mishnah Avos is advising that if someone asks you a question, you don't know the answer, don't be machmir misafik. It's even suggested to ask someone else, and if they're mekel, follow that, again, in terms of directing others. V'chein ha'go'onim zechron v'racha amru, the go'onim say, kol heicha de lamar mesabkele lamar b'shitole. If one master is in doubt and one is clear, hilchos command b'shitole. The halach is like the one who's clear. Va'afilu talmid eitzel harav. Even a student by a rebbe, if the rebbe is mistupik and the student is confident, if the student is authorized to answer a question, then you follow that. V'al tarbe la'asar amados. Do not frequently take off meiser in estimation. Says Rabbeinu Yona, shelo ya'aser me'oimed. Not to take off meiser out of estimation. Yesh davar shamoidet. Some things are measured. V'yesh ba'mishkol. Some are weighed. V'yesh ba'mesura. Some in calculated by a wet measure, or by minyan, or by number. One who takes of meiser out of estimation, peiros of mesukanim, your fruit are rectified, umasrois of mekulkalim, but the meiser you took off is corrupt. Ketzad hifrish v'ratzel hafrish b'ayin yafa. Let's say you separated, and you want to be mafresh meiser generously. Mashamadad yoiser min ha'asiris nimsa shu tevel. It comes out that which you measured more than a tenth. So let's say you have to take off a tenth. You have your field produced 100, and you took off 11. So whatever you took off more than the meiser amount is tevel. It's not meusar. You'll have to take meiser of that. V'hu lo chashav alav. He didn't think about that. V'nimtza sheish kilkel b'meiser zeh. So this meiser you took off is mekulkel. So it sounds like he's saying there's a halachic reason why you should not take off extra. Because the extra that you take off is still begeder tevel, still has a halachic status of tevel. So you're going to have to be ma'aser that. And if you don't take off ma'aser that, so then it's mekulkal. V'zeh hadavar hu lamashal me'inyan hasvara. This advice is really a parable regarding logic. Namely, she'ein la'adam la'asoysa me'oimed. A person should not think of svaras out of estimation. Ela al derech ha'ikr. But rather, a person, svaras have to be sound. V'sheyered l'soif hadas. Getting to the core of the matter. Ve'in shavois b'chal svaras. Not all svaras are equal. Sheyeshi l'shnei fanim. Some svaras have two ways to look at it. Meaning, let's say you have a decision in life, or you have a circumstance, or you don't know how to act. And you say, no, I think I should do this. And you think. Because that's what hits you superficially. You better have a very sound and compelling svara to act this way. Don't just dream up of a reason to do something one way. The hachacham, a wise man, even though his svara is inclined to one way, mevinu makir, he understands ki chacham acher yuchal lemer derech acheres. Another chacham could tell him another vantage point. Elo shazen nira le'ein of yoser. It's just this seems to him more. Meaning sometimes you don't know what to do, and you say, we could look at it this way, you could look at it that way. I think we should look at it this way. You can't act based on that. That's not compelling. Just because it makes a little bit more sense for you to do something one way, but if you know there's another vantage point, you can't just act based on some conjured up svara. Unless you have what we call svara muchrachas, then you don't really have anything compelling you. There's some source that the chacham who innovates it, he knows that it's compelling. There's no other way to look at it. And there's no other position. Basically, and now we know, says Rabbeinu Yona, what all these three pieces of advice have in common. Make for yourself a Rebbe. Because by doing so, you'll extricate yourself from safek. So you say, what do you mean safek? I always know what to do. Whenever there's a dilemma, there's always a more logical way to do things. No, that's not enough. It's not enough because you have a svara that you're inclined to in one direction more than another direction. There has to be a compelling reason for you to do something a certain way. If you have a Rebbe, then you'll be able to extricate yourself from Safek, because you won't be making decisions out of estimation. It will be Svara Muchrachas. That's why the Tanaram Gamliel puts al Tarbel Asar Amadois by Asay L'Charav and V'histalik Min HaSafek. Shehem Me Inyan HaSvara, because they are the Inyan of Svara. This Mishnah is telling us the proper outlook in terms of Svara. Namely, one should only act if there is what is called a Svara Muchrachas. Okay, Rabbi, so we'll hold it over here. I wish you all a wonderful Shabbos, and we'll see you all. You could join us Sunday for an Eon share at 11:15, or on Monday at 11:45. Good Shabbos, Kol Tov. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Good Shabbos.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Kol Tov.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.